Before we get to number one of these cast members is already gone, and not just gone from Hollywood, gone. Another one became one of the most Googled mysteries in film history, someone who appeared in two of the greatest comedies ever made and then vanished so completely that to this day, nobody knows exactly where she is. Let's see where the cast of Animal House ended up in 2026. Because between these 15 names, there are 4 deaths, 1 Hollywood disappearance, and 1 man who turned down $20 million without realizing it. Stay with us. It's 1978. Nixon is 2 years gone. Saturday Night Live is already changing late-night television, and on July 28th of that year, a scraggly $3 million college comedy drops into theaters and proceeds to make $141 million. You know the movie. You know the toga. You know the food fight. Friday nights, NBC, your living room floor. That was Animal House, and these are the people who made it. Number 15. We have Mark Metcalf, who played Douglas C. Neidermeyer, the rot martinet who shrieked at the deltas with a rage that felt almost personal. In 1978, Metcalf was 32 years old and furious on horseback. What most people don't know is that he lied in his audition about being able to ride. He got the part, then quietly took equestrian lessons before filming started. And to stay genuinely angry at the Delta actors during production, he had his hotel room moved to the floor directly above where they were partying every single night. In 2026, Mark Metcalf is 80 years old. After Animal House, he became the screaming authority figure of choice for a generation of filmmakers. He reprised Neidermeyer's snarl almost note for note in Twisted Sister's iconic "We're Not Gonna Take It" video in 1984. He played the Master, the ancient, calculating vampire antagonist, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and its spin-off Angel throughout the late 90s. He turned up as pompous orchestra conductor, the Maestro, in a Seinfeld episode that people still quote. He has continued acting steadily into his late 70s. The guy everyone wanted to shove into a locker in 1978 has had one of the most quietly durable careers in the whole cast. Neidermeyer got shot by his own troops in Vietnam. Mark Metcalf outlasted almost everyone. Number 14. We have the late Cesare Danova, who played Mayor Carmine DePasto, the cheerfully corrupt small-town politician presiding over the parade chaos at the film's explosive finale. Danova was 52 years old in 1978. A veteran of Hollywood's golden era who had starred opposite Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton in Cleopatra in 1963, alongside Elvis Presley in Viva Las Vegas in 1964, and alongside Robert De Niro in Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets in 1973. By Animal House, he was a seasoned character actor who brought a lifetime of craft to what was essentially a comedic cameo. And then he kept working, right up until the very end. He passed away on March 19, 1992, from a heart attack at the age of 66, not at home, not quietly, but in the middle of a meeting at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in Los Angeles. His final television role had aired just days before. He never stopped. He went out working. The corrupt mayor of Animal House died the way he lived, in the room where decisions were made. Number 13. We have John Vernon, who played the imperishable Dean Vernon Wormer, the bureaucratic nemesis of the Delta House, the man who gave us double-secret probation. Vernon was 46 in 1978, a classically trained Canadian stage actor who had already worked with Alfred Hitchcock, Clint Eastwood, and Don Siegel. His deep, resonant voice had been weaponized against bad guys for decades before Animal House handed him the chance to be the bad guy himself. He reprised the role in the 1979 TV spin-off Delta House. He went on to appear in more than 200 film and television credits. He kept working well into the 90s and early 2000s, his voice still capable of cutting right through a room. John Vernon passed away on February 1, 2005, at the age of 72 from complications following heart surgery. His daughter Kate Vernon, herself a well-known actress, announced his death. He had 3 children. What almost nobody knows. His real name was Adolphus Raymondus Vernon Agapsowitz. He was of Armenian heritage, born in Saskatchewan, Canada. Dean Wormer spent his whole career playing men who wanted order maintained at any cost. John Vernon, by every account, was the warmest man in the room. Number 12. We have Sarah Holcomb, who played Clarette DePasto, the mayor's daughter, the Toga Party, and one of the most talked about scenes of the entire late 1970s. She was 18 years old when filming began in October 1977. 18. Animal House made her famous. And Animal House, or rather, the world that came with it, may have started the unraveling. Animal House co-writer Chris Miller later said, quote, "She was young, younger than the rest of us. We were a fast crowd. Drugs were everywhere. She fell into bad company. She appeared in one more big film, Caddyshack in 1980, another instant classic, and then, by the time she was 22, she was gone. No press. No interviews. No comeback announcements. Reports from those who knew her described a spiral of substance abuse and untreated mental illness. A 2004 film called Stateside, directed by Reverge Anselmo, featured a character whose story so closely paralleled Holcomb's that Anselmo confirmed in his DVD commentary that the role was based on her. Her own brother played another character in the film. As of 2026, Sarah Holcomb is 67 years old. According to the few people who've spoken publicly, including screenwriter Chris Miller, she stabilized. She stepped away from everything. She is believed to be living quietly under an assumed name somewhere in Connecticut, and she does not wish to be found. Hollywood handed her two of the greatest comedies ever made before she turned 22. Then it took everything else. Number 11. We have Bruce McGill, who played Daniel Simpson Day, better known universally as D-Day. McGill was 28 in 1978, a young Texas actor who by his own account took the role out of desperation while sitting in a New York casting office. He had almost no film credits. He got the part, rode a motorcycle into the final parade scene, and became immortal. What happened next is one of the great character actor stories in Hollywood history. In 2026, Bruce McGill is 75 years old. After Animal House, he reinvented himself completely, from chaos agent to the face of authority. Director Michael Mann cast him in The Insider in 1999, Alley in 2001, and Collateral in 2004. He played the sheriff in My Cousin Vinny. He played CIA Director George Tenet in Oliver Stone's W. He played Secretary of War Edwin M. Stanton in Steven Spielberg's Lincoln, working opposite Daniel Day-Lewis. He was Detective Vince Corsack for 6 seasons of Rizzoli and Isles. The guy who played the wild-eyed anarchist D-Day became one of Hollywood's most trusted actors for playing lawyers, soldiers, and CIA directors. And the little-known detail? In Animal House, he drummed the William Tell Overture on his own windpipe. He later used the same trick in MacGyver to lull a child to sleep. D-Day blew up the parade in 1962. Bruce McGill spent the next 45 years keeping order. Number 10. We have Peter Riegert, who played Donald Boone Schoenstein, the Delta's dry, sardonic heart, the guy who could never quite commit to the fraternity or to Katie. Riegert was 31 in 1978, a Bronx-born actor who had been a schoolteacher before pivoting to performing. He made his Broadway debut playing Chico Marx in a musical about the Marx Brothers. In 2026, Peter Riegert is 79 years old and still working. After Animal House, his career became a quiet masterclass in range. Local Hero in 1983, a wry British-Scottish gem that earned him a British Academy nomination. Crossing Delancey in 1988, playing a New York pickle merchant who wins the heart of Amy Irving. The Mask in 1994. A recurring role as a crooked New Jersey assemblyman on The Sopranos, a far cry from Boone's idealism. He was nominated for an Emmy Award for his work in the HBO film Barbarians at the Gate. He directed a short film by Courier that earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Live-Action Short Film. He has been married to writer Cornelia Reed since 2019. What most people don't know, the role of Boone was originally considered for Bill Murray. Boone was the Delta who hesitated. Peter Riegert has never hesitated since. Number 9. We have Mark Metcalf's counterpart on the other side of the moral ledger, Tim Matheson, who played Eric Otter Stratton, the Delta's smooth-talking Rush chairman, the one who could charm his way out of anything. Matheson was 30 years old in 1978, and had actually been acting since he was 13. He'd voiced Johnny Quest in the animated series, and appeared on Leave It to Beaver as a teenager. When he auditioned for Animal House, the producers wanted him to play one of the uptight Omega House members. He refused. He told them he was tired of playing it straight. He fought for Otter. He got it. In 2026, Tim Matheson is 78 years old, and he just published his memoir, Damn Glad to Meet You, My 7 Decades in the Hollywood Trenches, in November 2024. The book covers his friendship with John Belushi, his Emmy-nominated run as Vice President John Hoynes on The West Wing, his years directing episodes of Suits, Criminal Minds, Burn Notice, and dozens of other series, and his long-running role as Doc Mullins in the Netflix hit Virgin River, which introduced him to an entirely new generation of fans. He has been married 3 times. His third marriage, to Elizabeth Marighetto in 2018, appears to have stuck. What almost nobody knows. Matheson once co-owned National Lampoon, the magazine and brand itself. He bought it in 1989 and sold it in 1991. Otter always had an angle. Tim Matheson always had a plan. Number 8. We have Tom Hulce, who played Larry Pinto Kroger, the wide-eyed, morally conflicted freshman who could never quite decide whether to be good or do the thing that seemed way more fun. Hulce was 24 in 1978. Animal House was only his second film. His name was pronounced Hulce. He had trained at the North Carolina School of the Arts and made his Broadway debut opposite Anthony Hopkins in Equus. He was, by Hollywood standards, already extraordinarily serious about his craft. And then, 6 years after Animal House, he beat out David Bowie, Mikhail Baryshnikov, Mark Hamill, and Kenneth Branagh for the role of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in Milo Forman's Amadeus. He was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor. He lost to his co-star F. Murray Abraham. In his acceptance speech, Abraham said, "And this is real, there is only one thing missing for me tonight, and that is to have Tom Hulce standing by my side." In 2026, Tom Hulce is 72 years old. He retired from acting in the mid-90s to focus entirely on the stage, not as a performer, but as a producer. He won the Tony Award for Best Musical in 2007 as lead producer of Spring Awakening. He also produced the original Broadway production of Green Day's American Idiot. As recently as January 2026, he was producing Chess on Broadway. In 2008, he publicly identified as gay. The kid who played the fraternity pledge became one of Broadway's most respected producers, responsible for two of the most important musicals of the 21st century. Pinto stood on a woman's windowsill once and chose not to go in. Tom Hulce has spent 40 years choosing the stage. Number 7. We have Karen Allen, who played Katie, the sharp, independent girlfriend of Boone, who absolutely knew she deserved better, did something about it, and then maybe thought twice about that too. Allen was 26 in 1978, and Animal House was her very first film. She was paid $3,000 for it. $3,000. The movie made $141 million. But here's the part nobody talks about. During production in Eugene, Oregon, Allen was diagnosed with epidemic keratoconjunctivitis, a serious viral eye infection that caused significant vision loss and left her with permanently scarred corneas. She recovered. She kept going. And 3 years later, Steven Spielberg, who had seen her in Animal House, cast her as Marion Ravenwood in Raiders of the Lost Ark. She won the Saturn Award for Best Actress. In 2026, Karen Allen is 74 years old. She reprised the role of Marion Ravenwood in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in 2008, and again in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny in 2023. She was married to actor Cale Brown from 1988 to 1998 and has one son, Nicholas. She has lived in Great Barrington, Massachusetts for decades, where in 2003 she founded Karen Allen Fiber Arts, her own textile company, selling handcrafted cashmere knitwear. She teaches acting and directs theater in the Berkshires. She walked away from Hollywood, built a life on her own terms, makes cashmere sweaters. And still, whenever Indiana Jones is mentioned, hers is the name that comes first. Number 6. We have the late Donald Sutherland, who played Professor Dave Jennings, the coolest professor on any screen of the 1970s, the one who smoked with his students and found Milton boring. Sutherland was 42 in 1978, and his role in Animal House was arguably the most consequential 2 days' work in film history, because without him, the movie would not have been made. Universal Pictures refused to greenlight the film until a second name was attached. Sutherland agreed to appear for 2 days of filming. The studio said yes. But here is the detail that has haunted every Hollywood contract negotiation since. The studio offered Sutherland his daily rate, roughly $20,000, or 2% of the film's gross earnings. He chose the flat fee. The film earned $141 million. His 2% would have been worth between $14 and $20 million. He later said in an interview, when asked how much he would have made, "I don't want to know." After Animal House, Sutherland had one of the most consistently extraordinary careers in cinema history. Ordinary People in 1980, JFK in 1991, Pride and Prejudice in 2005, and then, late in life, an entirely new generation discovered him as the chilling, reptilian President Snow in all 4 Hunger Games films. Donald Sutherland passed away on June 20, 2024, from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease while in hospice care in Miami. He was 88 years old. His son Kiefer announced his death on X with the words, "He loved what he did and did what he loved, and one can never ask for more than that." A life well lived. His wife Francine Rosette, whom he married in 1972, survives him. Their son Kiefer is one of the most recognizable actors on the planet. He turned down $20 million once and never looked back. And on his way out, he left behind more than most of us will ever produce in a lifetime. Number 5. We have the late Stephen Furst, who played Kent Flounder Dorfman, the soft-hearted, perpetually out-of-his-depth freshman pledge who became the emotional anchor of the entire film without anyone quite noticing. Furst was 23 in 1978, and his performance as Flounder was the first thing many viewers noticed about Animal House that wasn't John Belushi. He was sweet. He was hapless. He was the guy you rooted for. Off-camera, Stephen Furst was dealing with something the audience never saw. He had lost both parents within weeks of each other when he was 16, his father to heart disease, his mother to leukemia, and weeks after their deaths, he discovered he himself had diabetes. He would struggle with the disease for the rest of his life. After Animal House, Furst found serious television work. He played Dr. Elliot Axelrod on St. Elsewhere from 1983 to 1988, a warm, humane performance that earned him genuine critical respect. He played Vir Koto on Babylon 5 throughout the 90s, eventually directing multiple episodes of the series himself. He worked as a director and producer alongside his son Griff until late in his life. Stephen Furst passed away on June 16, 2017 from complications of diabetes at his home in Moorpark, California. He was 63 years old. His sons Nathan and Griff confirmed his death in a statement that asked fans, instead of grieving, to use one of his bits to make somebody laugh, really, really hard. He died the same way he lived, generous to the end. Flounder was told, "You trusted us. You F-ed up." Stephen Furst never trusted anyone but his family, and it turns out that was exactly right. Number 4. We have Kevin Bacon, who played Chip Diller, the stiff, shouting Omega Pledgemaster, who tries desperately to control a parade that is clearly and hilariously beyond any human ability to control. Bacon was 19 years old in 1978 and was paid $700 a week for 5 weeks, $3,500 total. It was his very first film role. He had left home in Philadelphia at 17 with a dream and a bus ticket. What happened next is now the subject of a pop culture game. In 2026, Kevin Bacon is 67 years old and worth an estimated $45 million. After Animal House, he starred in Friday the 13th, Diner, Footloose, the 1984 role that made him a teen idol, A Few Good Men, Apollo 13, Mystic River, X-Men, First Class, and the television series The Following and City on a Hill. He has received Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild nominations. He has been married to actress Kyra Sedgwick since 1988. They have 2 children. But here is the detail that most people still can't believe. In 2008, Kevin Bacon and Kyra Sedgwick lost between $30 and $40 million in the Bernie Madoff fraud. Everything. Gone. He rebuilt. He kept working. He kept going. The guy who earned $3,500 for his first movie, built a $45 million career, lost most of it to one of the greatest frauds in history, and rebuilt it anyway. Chip Diller lost control of a parade. Kevin Bacon lost $30 million. Neither one of them stopped moving. Once. Number 3. We have the late John Belushi, who played John Bluto Blutarski, the 7th-year undergraduate, the one-man food fight, the toga, the guitar, the ramming speed, the legend. Belushi was 28 years old in 1978, already famous from Saturday Night Live, which had launched in 1975 and made him one of the most electric presences in American comedy. He appeared on the cover of Newsweek as Bluto. Animal House became the highest-grossing comedy of 1978. And within 2 years of its release, his follow-up, The Blues Brothers, grossed over $115 million worldwide. He had everything. He had the gift. He had the momentum. He had the friendship of Dan Aykroyd, who was already begging him to come back east and work on what would become Ghostbusters. On March 5, 1982, John Belushi was found dead in bungalow number 3 of the Chateau Marmont Hotel in Los Angeles. He was 33 years old. The last people to see him alive had been Robert De Niro and Robin Williams, who visited separately earlier that evening. The cause of death was a lethal injection of cocaine and heroin, what is known as a speedball. The woman who administered it, Kathy Smith, later pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and served 15 months in prison. He was buried on Martha's Vineyard. His tombstone reads, "I may be gone, but rock and roll lives on." Rolling Stone magazine, in 2015, voted him the greatest Saturday Night Live cast member of all time, above Eddie Murphy, above Bill Murray, above Tina Fey. Tim Matheson, his co-star and friend, wrote in his memoir that Belushi was clean on set during the filming of Animal House, that the chaos came later, that the Hollywood they all inhabited in those years handed out drugs the way other businesses hand out business cards. I knew some actors, Matheson said, whose lives were ravished by drugs. And how stupid we were. Because when Animal House came out, we thought, cocaine isn't really bad for you. He was 33 years old. He had a tombstone before he had a second act. And to this day, 44 years later, John Belushi is still the first name anyone says when they think of Animal House. Before we get to number one, remember that man who turned down $20 million? He's not our number one. Because our number one is the one who got paid $3,500 for Animal House. Our number one is the one who lost $30 million to Bernie Madoff and rebuilt. Our number one is the one who had an eye disease and became Indiana Jones's love interest. Our number one is the one who walked away from Hollywood fame and makes cashmere sweaters in Massachusetts. Wait, that's everyone. Because in the end, that's what this cast actually is. Not a Wikipedia roll call. 15 specific, singular human beings who walked onto a $3 million set in Eugene, Oregon in 1977 and made something that changed comedy forever. Some of them became legends, some of them became mysteries, some of them are gone, and some of them are still here, still working, still finding ways to stay in the room. Here is what I want to know. Which Animal House cast member surprised you most in 2026? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if you want to see where another era-defining cast ended up, stay tuned. The next one is coming, and trust me, it gets darker before it gets better.